Thanks for tuning in to the David Ray Global Rock Show right here on DAS Global Rock and also Global Rock Radio there in Melbourne, Australia. And hey, that was the Beautifully Demolished. Please check them out. They are with High Voltage Entertainment. So check them out. Hey, tonight I've got some really good friends of mine from Katy, Texas. And hey, this is Aliah Listens. What's up, guys?
What's going on?
I don't know it, brother. Hey, so this is Danny, right? You do some of the singing here with Aliah Listens.
Yes, sir. Danny Hacker, do the lead vocals. Joined this rabble about a year ago, and we've just been making dust trails ever since.
Cool, man. I tell you what, man. When I first heard you guys, I was like, "Whoa, you guys got to be on my show, dude." I really do think you guys, you got what it takes, man. You sound really good, man.
Hey, I take that as the highest compliment. There's no shortage of compliments out there, and I'll take every single one of those I can get.
Heck yeah, man. I'll tell you, and that's something in music nowadays. It's not easy, and it's so hard because of the change in the industry, far as making the big bucks like you used to. And, were you in a band before you were in Aliah Listens?
No, I've always had a passion for singing. It's always made me happy. I love to sing, but I've always been in the karaoke scene actually, and that's how. That's how I ended up with these guys. To be honest with you, is they knew me from one of the members of the band, Dennis. He knew me from the karaoke scene. He always got up there and sang songs with me, and so when they were looking for a new lead singer, he's like, hey, I know this guy, and they had actually brought on a friend of mine to be the new lead singer, and he lasted about one show.
Oh, man.
And then they heard me sing, and they're like, no, you're the guy we want. So I was honored to be a part of this band. I've told these guys many times, if it was any other group of guys, I probably wouldn't have joined up.
Right.
That level of commitment, because, having a band's like having a girlfriend, and I already got a wife, so it's...
Yeah. Well, it's kind of like a second marriage, especially being out on the road. You got to deal with everybody's issues and, kind of smile, basically.
Absolutely. You got to take it all with a grain of salt and just keep on chugging, because if you don't, the alternative is just to stop.
Yeah, that's right. Well, did you grow up around that area there in Katy?
No, actually, I grew up in Colorado.
Oh, okay. Well, what brought you to Texas, man?
Well, it's a funny story. I was living out on the eastern plains of Colorado, and the drug scene hit my town like really bad, and I saw a bunch of my friends destroying themselves, killing themselves, and one day I just had enough of seeing it all go down, so I put a map of the United States on the wall, and I threw it a dart, and it hit Houston, Texas, so I moved the next day.
I hear you, brother. Yeah, and I'll tell you what, that is a huge problem. I believe it's everywhere there. I don't care where you go, that drugs are an issue.
Yeah, and your occasional recreational fun is all good and fun, but when it consumes your life, it just starts to decay everything around it.
Definitely. One thing is like you said, you start seeing people pass from doing the stuff, and I didn't realize that until I got out of high school, man. A lot of your friends that were there as you grow older over, say, a decade, man, if you count how many that have lost their lives to crap like that, man, it's ridiculous.
It's sad, man. That's there's no other word for it. It's just really sad. And I've gone back to visit the town that I'm from, 10 years removed, and everybody in the town's doing the exact same thing. It's like they haven't you progress even the slightest bit. They're still in the exact same place, and it's just sad to see.
Right, definitely. And I'm kind of glad you brought that up. My little girl lived in Fort Worth there for a while, and I was really worried about it one night. I was watching 2020, and they were talking about kids in classrooms, I think it was like 5th grade, sitting there snorting heroin while the teacher's teaching. And I was just like, oh, my God, that's so wrong for a child. I mean, who in the hell could do this to sell it to a child or give it to a child? I just don't understand it, man.
It's the decay of Western society. What can you do except for put it in some lyrics in a song and rock out about it?
That's right. That's right. Well, so, with rock and roll, the motto's always been sex, drugs, and rock and roll. But honestly, I don't think that's not for everyone in rock and roll.
Well, and it's everything in moderation too. It's I'm all about sex, drugs, and rock and roll in limited quantities. Just don't let any of the above ever consume your life.
Right, and you can look at a lot of these established bands, from lead singers to guitar players to the drummers even. They've destroyed themselves to where they can't even get up and sing. And it has been a big problem in the music community.
Absolutely, and we like to have a good time, and we like to let loose, and we don't need to be all messed up to get up on stage to be able to do it.
That's right, brother. That's right.
We're fortunate too that I'd mentioned earlier that I probably wouldn't have done this with any other group of guys, because we're all in the same mindset, we're all about the same age, and we're all in it for the right reason. We're not doing it out there to chase skirts and get all messed up after the show. We're in it for the music, and we like making music, we like creating music, and we like sharing it with anybody that wants to listen.
All right. Hey, do you get in on the writing process of the stuff that you guys put out?
Well, we're just getting into that right now. When I joined up with the band, they already had their first album already cut.
Right.
And so the first part of that was just learning everything that was already out there and kind of putting my own little twist to it. And we're about 2, 3, maybe even 4 songs deep into our second album, which I've had a big part on the writing process. And Ralph, our lead guitar player, that guy's just amazing. Every other day he's just coming up with a new riff in his head, and he just plays it out for everybody. And our drummer just seamlessly goes in there and just puts drum beats to it, and then we all just start humming melodies, and then start making those melodies into lyrics.
Yeah, man, that's what it's about. And let me ask you this: what was some of your influences? I mean, because this band has a unique sound. I mean, it's rock and roll. I mean, we all know that, but I mean, you do have your uniqueness. Was there anybody that influenced you as a youngster growing up?
Well, it's funny that you asked that, because I think that if you ask every single individual member of this band that same question, you'll probably get a different answer from every single one of us.
Right.
Which is what I think makes our sound great, because the bottom line is we want every song to kind of have a good groove to it. You want you to be able to sit down and groove, just hit play on the album and just listen to every single song and just groove to it. Me personally, my biggest influence growing up was Pink Floyd. I'm a huge Floyd fan.
Okay. Very cool.
And you talk to any of the other guys, and they're somebody's all about Terror or Hell Yeah, or and it's it's just fun. We all have fun teasing each other and giving a hard time to each other about our different influences and our different likes. So
definitely.
It's always a good time. Like our drummer Matt, he's stuck in the '80s.
Yeah, man. Well, the '80s, I'll tell you what, man. I look at these guitar players that come from the '80s, man. They're untouchable.
Oh, and the vocalists too, man. I mean, I don't know if there's just been a change in physiology over time, or they just knew how to squeeze their nuts better than we do nowadays. But those guys hit notes that you just don't hear anymore.
That's right. That's right, brother. And I've learned something since I've gotten into radio, and I went outside of the established bands. Man, Texas really has a great music scene going on out there, guys.
Yeah, and we're working real hard to try and make the Houston local rock scene better than it is. There's a lot of areas of Texas that are doing a lot better, honestly, than Houston are as far as the live local music scene. And where that's going to start to improve is where all the local bands group together and support each other and make the scene as a whole better instead of trying to compete against one another too much.
That's right.
And I think that's what's inhibited Houston up to date. But I see a lot of progression towards reverting back to a more of a bigger support system and seeing the bigger picture as the scene itself.
Well, I'm glad you say that, because I got friends right there in Fort Worth, London's Dungeon. And, I was talking to London, and he's like, dude, we will not play a battle of the bands. He says, this is not competition. He goes, the thing is you don't down another artist, and, basically, I'm not better than you. We're all in it for the same reasons.
Absolutely, and if you see your fellow band from the same scene be successful, then that just shows you that there's the potential to make success in that market instead
Definitely.
of saying why wasn't it me? Because that's an easy place to go to. Like I'm jealous. Why can't I be? You suck.
Yeah. Well, you gotta be headstrong, and I'll tell you what, in the music industry, there are some that may get in a higher place than you might, but hey, you just keep trucking, brother. I mean, you keep writing and you keep playing. I mean, it's all about putting in with the people that are making the music, man.
Absolutely. And if you're not doing it for yourself, and if you're not having fun doing it, then you're doing the wrong thing.
That's right. Well, let's talk a little bit about this song I'm going to play, brother. Shallow. Can you give me some insight on that, brother?
Well, Shallow, it's just one of those good songs. Like it gets everything started, it gets the crowd pumped up. It's got a good infusion of clean vocals and screamos in there, and it's just a perfect one that gets everybody in that right mindset to rock out.
And I believe you start your show off with this, correct?
We do. We almost every show without fail we start off with this song. It just gets everybody going just right.
All right, man. Well, could you tell the folks where they can go over and find some of your stuff if they want to hear it, maybe buy it, T-shirts, anything?
Absolutely. The best place to go, the one-stop shop, is of course to go to Reverb Nation, reverbnation.com/Aliah Listens. We've got all our demos on there. Got all our upcoming show dates. We've got a busy couple months coming up. We've got shows pretty much every week coming through September and October. So you'll find all those dates on Reverb Nation, links to our Facebook. You listen to any music that we have out there, even some fun things that we've just put on there that aren't really songs that we've just put on there. So.
All right, man. Well, all right, man. I'll be right back with you. Guys, hey, go check this band out. Please give them a like on their like page and buy some merch from them. Hey, the song's called Shallow by Aliah Listens. You can only find it right here on the David Ray Global Rock Show. All right. Hey, what would be the next song you'd want to do, brother? Thanks for tuning in to the David Ray Global Rock Show here on DAS Global Rock and also Global Rock Radio. And, hey, I got Aliah Listens from Katy, Texas tonight, and please go check them out, man. I mean, this band it's amazing, man. It's great rock and roll. And the guy that actually turned me on was the guitar player, Ralph. What's going on, brother?
How you doing, man?
I'm doing good, man. Doing good. So what have you guys been doing? I mean, you're working on another album. How is that coming along, brother?
Pretty good, man. I spent a lot of time in here working on that. I have ideas. I'm sitting there either showering or eating dinner, and just ideas suddenly pop into my head. So I'll hear a riff and go back in there and start working on that. So it's starting to take off. Me and the drummer spending a lot of time together and trying to make these songs come out. So definitely a fun, exciting little time here we're having.
Yeah, man. Well, how did this band actually get started? I was reading a lot of stuff up on, you know, the name and how that become part of the band. Can you give us some insight on that?
Yeah, it's probably maybe about 12, 13 years ago, man. I started playing guitar heavily, man, getting into Godsmack and Pantera big time as I started playing guitar, and had a couple of buddies of mine there, and we had a little bit of equipment, and we're like, you know what, I want to do what these guys are doing, sitting there watching videos on TV and stuff, and we started practicing and jamming, and I actually met our singer, Danny, back then, that long ago, that we didn't even realize when we hooked back up. He's like, dude, I used to know you back then. I'm like, small world, you know, but we started jamming, and came back out here to Katy and started meeting new people and going to the bars around here in the local scene a lot, and that's kind of how it really lit a fire in me, like, I really want to do this, and hooked up with some buddies and started working on it, went through quite a couple of members. You know, it's hard keeping it together, as everyone says. It's like a marriage, so, yeah, there's a lot that comes with that, but
well, yeah, everybody's got to be on the same level as far as what they want the music to be. I mean, you know, like me being a musician, I can't just play with just anybody. I mean, that's hard to do, and,
exactly.
You know, because everybody ain't on the same page. You know, you might can play the same cover song. You know, I've noticed some people, they just play it different, man.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you try. It's one thing about it with every member that has joined. You know, I've taken into consideration a lot of people, and I was like, you know, I could care less if you're the most amazing musician there is out there, but if you know, there's a attitude or we can't get along or too many indifferences, you know, it doesn't work, you know. Too many people trying to make decisions kind of complicate everything. So, you know, you just got to find the right people and keep on trucking. But I think that eventually we did here, and we started up something really good, and, you know, we just started playing more often, and it started getting better, and we're like, you know what, I think we're getting to the point where we might be able to go out there and do some shows and bring the music out to the people and see what they think, and so far, so good.
Right. Well, does the town of Katy or the city of Katy, do they give you guys a lot of support, man?
Man, I'd have to say yes. These people out here, we've known a lot of people out here for quite a while, a lot of good friends, and, you know, word of mouth and social media there, you know, people just, friends start talking to other friends, and before you know it, you know, starts making a thing, and
right.
It's pretty decent, as I feel it is. I think it's spoken for itself, and, you know, we've had a lot of great friends and loyal fans that are just backing us up all the time.
Yeah, definitely. And, you know, like I said once before, you know, when I first heard your music, I was turned on. How did you go about your style in this band? I mean, what were some of your influences as growing up and picking up a guitar?
A lot of Metallica in the beginning, you know. Of course, Pantera came along and I was blown away.
Oh, yeah.
When I started jamming heavily, I was really digging Godsmack a lot too. So it also had a lot of different varieties of alternative, you know, from your Breaking Benjamins and stuff like that, just Chevelle, just heavy riff, but, you know, groove, not necessarily fast, just groovy, something that makes you want to move. But you really don't dance to heavy metal or rock, but, you know, that's kind of the vibe I was shooting for, just a power groove that you can jam and nod your head to.
That's right, man. And I think you guys have conquered that. I really do, man. I mean, what would you say right now with the members that you have? Do you think it's the right ingredient right now?
Definitely right now. Finally, after all this time, all those guys get along. I mean, we have our little moments here and there. Who doesn't? But not enough to hurt what we're doing. So we're really set right now. We're doing pretty good.
And I want to say you named this band after your daughter, correct?
Yeah. We were sitting around one day looking for names, and it was just, man, there is so much and to look through, and it was just like, a good buddy of mine was just, I saw this picture that I have on my wall, which is my little girl when she was in pre-K. She wrote, Aliah listens to music with her daddy. So a buddy of mine suggested it, and my daughter was in the room, and she was like, yeah, Dad. And I was like, you know what? Why not? And that's how it came about.
Wow. I bet she's a proud little girl, huh?
Yes, sir. I love my little girl. Everything is based off of her, the music. She's actually the picture logo for our band. That is her in there and in the photograph. So
Oh, okay.
got a lot to do with it.
Definitely, man. That's cool, man. And that's cool that you can bring, your daughter into it that way. And that's really what I've done with DAS Global Rock. That's, part of that DA is my daughter. So, kind of cool, man.
Yeah, definitely. We hope to have her singing some vocals in the upcoming album and a couple of the tracks. So we're going to see how that works out. We've been practicing a lot on that as well.
So how old is she now?
She is 13 going on 14.
Okay. So basically she's been from day one part of this band too.
Yeah, she's been jamming with Daddy for quite a while. I mean, 3 years old, having her in a car seat, driving, to work and stuff, and back, picking her up. She was jamming the Evanescence and a whole bunch of metal, so she was singing since she was a little baby. So, yeah, she's definitely very musically inclined as well.
Well, is she going to be on this upcoming album that you guys are working on now?
That's the idea, to have her on there at least on a track or two, and we're going to work on that. Hopefully that comes through.
Cool, man. Well, hopefully you guys will send that over to me. And I'd love to jam it, dude.
Most definitely, man. We will.
Well, heck yeah, man. Far as the way bars and venues do now, how is that working out for you guys? I mean, do you get to play a lot of shows in your area, or are you having to go outside the area to play?
We've definitely played a lot around in our area, and now we're starting to travel outside the area, which we actually like and are looking forward to. Living out of Katy is pretty good, you know what I'm saying? We want to play anywhere, any and everywhere we can, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So definitely, the scene has been good to us right now. We've met a lot of great people that have helped us along the way and introduced us to the right people, so I want to send a shout-out to all of them right now. You know who you are. Much respect. But, yeah, definitely, it's going well.
Yeah, man, and that's one thing, with the band. If you got one guy over here goes, hey, man, I got a wife and a kid, and, man, I can only go out for a week. Or you got to have people that are dedicated. Yes, you do have kids, or yes, you do got a wife, or whatever the case may be. They got to be willing to leave that all behind, because this now is your business. This is a job. And, the way I look at it is whether you make a lot of money or you make 100 or 200 here, going from town to town in each state, man, it really means a lot. Because now you've spread out, outside your town, and other people are checking you out. And, it makes it easier for you to come back, within 6 to a year, 6 months to a year.
Yeah.
Yeah, and, a lot of bands don't get that, man.
Yeah, man, I mean, you got to do it, as everyone has said, you got to do this and want to do this for the love of the music, Our whole thing and my whole thing has always been, I just want any and everyone to listen to my music, you know what I'm saying? That's all it's about. I mean, anything that came along with it, it's all blessings to me, and I'm grateful for each one of them. But, yeah, it's definitely just about the love of the music, and as long as people want to hear it, I definitely want to bring it out there to them,
Yeah, man. Well, who else we got tonight? I believe we got the drummer, correct?
Yeah, we got Matt here, and we actually got most of the band except for the bass player.
Okay.
He unfortunately had to work tonight, who was really wanting to be here real bad. But, yeah, let me go ahead and pass the phone on, and wherever he's at. He lives here.
Oh Lord, he ran out.
He lost on me, man. Yeah, just flag him when we need him. Where are you, man?
Oh yeah, man. That's
I got him right here, and let me go ahead and put him on the phone for you.
all right, man.
Hello?
Hey, what's up, brother man?
What's going on, man? This is Matt, the drummer.
Okay, man. Well, I gotta say I love your drumming, dude. It really stands out in the music that you guys do. I have to give you props, brother.
Thank you.
You know, I was listening to a lot of your double bass licks and stuff like that, and I was like, wow, this dude, you can play, man.
What's funny is some of those double bass fills are actually done, the consonant is done with one foot.
Right, yeah.
And then,
wow.
you know, the accents are, you know, just the other foot. But most of it, yeah, I'm doing all with one foot.
Well, you know, I played this gig years ago. It's been years, and a guy asked me, "Hey, man, can I use your bass pedal?" And I said, "Sure," you know. And he took off the other bass mallet. He took my stuff apart, basically, and I didn't mind. But dude, when I got up on by the stage and started watching this dude, he was doing exactly what you're saying with one foot, and I'm talking about fast. And when I got it back, dude, he had bent my mallet.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, he was playing that hard with his foot, man. And I can say, you know, as far as me being a drummer, I don't have the talent to do that. You know, you really have to have foot control to do that, man. And, you know, that I give you props for that, man. That's really cool.
I really do appreciate it, man. I'm always trying to improve myself.
Well, how long you been playing drums, man?
Actually, I've been playing since I was 4 years old.
Golly, man. That's a long time, man.
Yeah, my dad was a drummer, and he was in an old country band. And he, you know, when I was tall enough to reach the hi-hat, he would let me play it. And he would, you know, when it was time to stop, he would tell me stop.
Right.
And then he would, you know, and as I got older, he's like, the only way you're going to get good is if you start off playing old country. You know, that boom, chick, boom, chick.
Right, right.
You're going to get a good sense of time. You're going to know how to play everything. And then I just developed from there.
Well, cool, man. You know, that's amazing because I love country music too. I'm a huge rock fan, but I believe if you like music, man, you like any kind of music that is soothing to your ability that you like. But I'm with you on that. You know, stuff like Creedence, you know, Clearwater Revival. I mean, I started off playing that, just simple licks, you know, and that's right. You build up your ability to play different stuff.
Yep. Exactly.
Yeah, you know, my thing being a drummer, I like to watch other drummers because you can get different techniques and use them.
Yeah, exactly. So I guess you want to know who mine are?
Yeah, definitely. That'd be cool.
Easy. I can, Neil Peart, Alex Van Halen, Danny Carey of Tool, Mike Portney of Dream Theater.
Okay, cool, man.
Shannon Larkin of Godsmack, and starting to get into Chris Adler of Lamb of God. That's where I'm picking up a lot of the quicker double bass.
Okay. Well, how long have you been with these guys, man? How long have you been in the band Aliah Listens?
I've been in the band for 2 years. When Ralph and I originally got together, it was 2 years ago. Around this October.
Okay, cool, man. And you know, being a drummer, I mean, do you put a lot of writing into the work with them?
I do, actually. He'll like Danny said, you know, Ralph both said they'll come up with an idea, he'll lay it down, and I'll come in and start just simple, kind of get a basic, you know, idea of how the song goes, and then we'll break everything down and rewrite it. And we'll actually break it down section by section, write each part, and then go back and write the whole thing to make sure we have everything down. So it's a pretty intense music writing process.
Yeah, man, and you know, I bet they give you hell. All drummers get hell, don't they?
Yeah, Ralph was like, dude, do not play like that. This is a song.
Yeah, and then you got to tote more shit than they do too, man. You be the last one getting your stuff set up, and hey man, we got sound check. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Well, what I mean, far as playing in the band, have you had some great experiences playing live? I'm sure you have, huh?
I have, man. I never get tired of it. I never get tired of it. It's fun because it's a different kind of high that any drug can give you.
Right, definitely. You know,
Natural, you're just, that whole day, the whole day of a show, we're all relaxed, but there's an underlying excitement between all of us.
yeah.
So, yeah, I love playing live.
Yeah, man. I tell you, I think it's more of the adrenaline rush. Actually, seeing the crowd, come back at you singing the lyrics and stuff, man. I mean, that's just an amazing feeling.
Yeah, it is. It's fun.
Well, hell yeah. What could you give as far as advice to, like a drummer as a youngster growing up? Is there any advice you could give someone?
Don't be so close-minded. Be open-minded.
Yeah, and that's the thing.
I never took lessons, but if someone's willing to sit down and give you, even if you don't understand all of it, you're going to pick up something.
That's right, man. And I think you can, if you sit down and listen to people instead of being stubborn and being like, whatever. I believe you can learn a lot, man, sometimes if you just stop and listen.
Exactly.
A lot of people, oh man, I can do anything, and it's like, man, yeah, you probably can, but if you would just stop and listen to this dude's idea or my idea, whoever, sometimes that idea turns into being like the best part of the song, whether it's the intro or the middle part. So
Exactly.
improvise.
Just be open-minded.
Right. Well,
with anything you do, and don't be afraid to take bad criticism.
that's right, brother. I'll tell you, you're always going to get, a person told me, if you're not getting criticism, you're not doing shit.
Yeah.
So, hey, I think criticism is good, man.
It always is, good or bad, because it'll hurt, but you're going to take something and you'll be like, okay, well, this is what I need to work on. This is what, should I have done better? Should I have done, less? Just take it and go with it.
Right. Well, do you guys practice a lot, or, I mean, have you learned the songs well enough to just be like, well, we're going to work on new stuff today rather than same old stuff?
No, we practice quite a lot, even if it's just me and Ralph, tooling around in the studio here. We're always working on new stuff.
Right.
Even if it's just jamming, you're still coming up with ideas, even if it's just a jam session.
Right.
So.
Well, let's talk about this song, Throwing Back Shots. I think it kind of fits me, man.
Actually, there is a really good story behind that one. As everybody says, a song has to have a good story. Well, this one, one night, we were drinking, actually, and we were listening to some classic rock or whatever, and I got behind my kit and started playing When the Levee Breaks by Led Zeppelin.
Right.
And everyone started getting into it, and then Ralph got on the guitar, and we just, kind of came up with the idea of, like, Led Zeppelin meets Kid Rock meets, Pantera or whatever.
Yeah, definitely.
And then the lyrics, we were just naming off any kind of drink we could think of. So it all just kind of fell into place, like, all right, what do we like? What do people like? Jaeger, Jack, Jim, James, all that.
Right, yeah. Hey, it can get crazy when you drink Jaeger.
It does. It can get real crazy.
Yeah, it's a kid.
Yeah, that's how Throwback Shots came about, man. It was just, we were all having a good time, and we were all just feeling something, so we're like, let's go with it.
Yeah, and you can actually find this over there on your Reverb too, correct?
Yes, you can find it on Reverb Nation /Aliah Listens. Like Danny said, all our music's on there. It's on our Facebook page. Everything's on there.
Very cool.
We're even on YouTube. I don't know if you mentioned that, but we're on YouTube.
Yeah. I'm sorry I didn't. But yeah, I seen you got some stuff over there, and that's really cool, man. Because with YouTube, man, it broadens everything for you.
Yeah, it does.
It really
that's
does.
the crazy thing, man. Word of mouth is it's crazy. Like Danny said, we're all around the same age, in our 30s. We didn't have this stuff growing up.
Yeah, that's right, man. I mean, we've only had it probably, like, really going good, hell, what, 8 years?
Yeah, about 10 years.
Yeah.
And it's crazy how word of mouth just spreads and people can instantly look it up. And that's been a big plus, too.
Well, hell yeah. Well, I'm going to come right back with you guys, man. And right now, we're going to be throwing back shots. Hey, guys, please check out.
Throwing back shots. I'm about to grab one here in a minute.
Well, hey, get one right now, man. Hey, guys, check them out. It's Aliah Listens. Hey, they are from Katy, Texas. All you got to do is type it in on your Facebook. You can go like the page, hear their music, find out where you can buy it, whatever, Reverb. Go over there and buy something, folks. That's what it's about. Get this band to your town. They want to get out there and play for anybody. So, hey, that's what it's about. Support all bands. That's what it's about, folks. Hey, this is Throwing Back Shots from Aliah Listens. You can only find it right here on the David Ray Global Rock Show. Thanks for tuning in to the David Ray Global Rock Show. Hey, that was Throwing Back Shots. So Leah listens, and right now I've got Dennis on the phone with me, and if you listen to them, they got some growls in there, and this is the man. What's up, Dennis?
And hanging out, enjoying being on the radio. It's kind of cool.
Yeah, man. Yeah, and we stream through Australia too, so man, we kind of try to touch a broad side of the world. I guess you could say that's why we call it global. We got people in Argentina, the Philippines. So, you really are stepping outside of Texas tonight.
Man, that's amazing, and, anybody out there that loves our music and helps us out or, that's what we're there for, We want to let them have a good time, as you can tell by that last song.
Yeah, definitely. And, I got to give a big shout out to my boy Hanji. He's a guitar player for Standing Penance. And he does all the recordings that you see, that you can go and listen to the interview after the interview. That's the guy. So, Hanji, thank you, brother. So, Dennis.
Thank you, Hanji.
So, you're from Lafayette. How did you end up in Katy, Texas?
Well, I was born and raised there. I was there until I was 17, and my mom, she's in the oil business, and we got transferred down over here, and we've been here ever since. Moved here in '97. Okay.
Well, how big is Katy, Texas? I mean, is it a small little town, or is it a pretty big sized place?
It's bigger than the places I grew up in Lafayette.
Oh, okay.
I'll tell you that. It's kind of weird out here, though. Katy, Texas. They kind of single each other out. Well, I'm from Cinco or whatever. I'm not even used to that, I'm from Louisiana, that's how we roll.
Right, definitely. So, you're not far from Houston, correct?
Oh, no, sir, it's a 4-hour drive, and I will take it.
Oh, Lord. Yeah, man, I drove across Texas. The last time I did it, I drove straight through, and I said, man, I can't ever do that again. I mean, God, from top to bottom or top to the side, there's some miles through Texas, brother.
Oh, yeah. I'm just happy that it's easy to get to, because I have my mom's sense of direction, and I couldn't tell you north, south, or east, or west.
Well, I was in Fort Worth, and I asked, I'd stop at a Whataburger, and I said, hey, how far is it to El Paso? And they looked at me, and they were like, I don't know. And I said, oh, shit. And I get outside the town, and it's like probably 30 more miles than what I've already driven. And I'm like, oh, my God. Like, I got to drive 587 more miles? Yeah, I didn't make it.
Oh, yeah. When we first moved here, I had a bunch of friends come down, and we tried to go to the haunted woods in the woodlands, and we spent probably about $40 on tolls just trying to find it, so we never made it.
Well, how did you end up in Aliah Listens?
Well, I was working at Wild Wing Cafe, and they were doing karaoke, and old drummer Jack worked there with me, and I worked there with Danny as well. And Jack heard me do bodies and brought me over to Ralph's house, and I've known Ralph for about 6-7 years, and we just kind of been sticking together and hanging out. I'm here almost every day. I live right around the corner.
Yeah, that's cool. Being in a band and having someone live 3 or 4 hours away and then they have to show up, it's like you only have so much time to get that practice in. That can be rough on you.
Oh, yeah. It's always a juggling act. I mean, 3 of us do work at the same job. There's Christian, he's actually at work, he's our bass player. We call him Bangers.
Heck yeah.
Matt works with me as well.
Well, what the hell made you want to growl? I mean, I'm trying to find the right words here, brother. I mean, it was kind of like before we went on, you said people say, oh, man, he's a big teddy bear. How did that come out of him? What
time I heard Phil Osama.
Oh, okay, cool, man. Have you heard the new stuff from him?
The Down?
No, he's got Phil Anselmo and the Illegals.
Oh, no, I have not heard that.
Oh man, the reason I brought that up is because you brought him up, and I was watching it the other night, and I was like, wow, it's nothing like Pantera, it's nothing like Down, but it's kind of like all of it together in a sense. Really cool stuff, man. And Phil has influenced a lot of people in rock, especially in the Texas area.
Anywhere in the South.
Yes.
Pantera had a big influence on anybody. I mean, it's amazing. Like even kids nowadays, you'd never think you'd feel old because they wouldn't know who they are, and they know Dimebag.
That's right, man. And that's something too that we could talk about real quick. Is I thought that was bull crap. It makes it harder for like people like me and you to go in a venue because of somebody's stupidity. Yeah, he died doing what he loved doing, but the thing is that was just uncalled for. And that, if people need help, go get help. Don't go kill someone. I don't know what the reason was. Maybe jealousy. But dude, he killed the guy that did this. I mean, he killed one of the best guitar players that ever walked the earth.
Yeah, I mean, it
Sad
hit me
story.
hard, and it was funny because my mom actually found out before I did, and she called and told me, and it was it was heartbreaking. I mean, I knew they broke up, but now there's never going to be a chance of them resolving or getting back together and doing a reunion.
Right.
People are stupid, and sometimes, you can't think stupid, but, I mean, it's very selfish, and you know what? It's a shame.
And this is just being a part of life. I've learned over the years, time heals everything. And I'll tell you what, it's cool because Phil is actually kind of getting along with his wife, Rita, now.
Yeah, that's what I hear, I'm not a computer person, but, everybody else in this band knows how to work these little silly machines, and they show me all kinds of stuff, so I finally get to catch up in the daily world, I guess.
Well, yeah, and I could see why, and I'm sorry to jump on Pantera, but, I mean, you are from Texas, man, and I'll tell you, they influenced a lot of people. I mean, people from, like, all around the world. I mean, you see them play, overseas, and, I mean, the millions of people that just loved Pantera, man. I mean, they were really different. I mean, when they come out, it was just totally different, man. It was like in your face. We don't have to wear spandex, and of course they did in the early days. And one thing, dude, I'll tell you what. I got married to a person that was older than me, and when I married this lady, she said, I got to show you something since you love rock music. She said, I lived in Fort Worth or somewhere outside of Dallas there, and she lived in a trailer park. And it was the whole Pantera gang lived there. They were her neighbors. And it was before Phil was in the band. And she had the original bandana from 1983, dude.
Oh, wow.
And I was like, oh, my God. Like, having the original vintage. I mean, it was just really cool, man. And to hear her stories, she was like, those dudes were crazy. And
that's what she had. Stories.
Oh, yeah, man. And, it was like, wow, man, you're the coolest person, but, having something like that, it's really irreplaceable nowadays. I mean, you can't get it.
Right.
I know a good friend of mine, he was on the show, and Rex Brown from the band actually joined him and was in his band called Arms of the Sun. His name's Lance Harville. And he'd come on the show, and I didn't realize that he knew Dimebag really well. And I just kind of got what type of person that Dom really was. He said that one night, it was actually morning, like 7 o'clock in the morning, he said he'd get a crazy call, and it was Dimebag still drunk. And he's like, hey, brother, come on over here or whatever. And he said he gets to his house, and he's like, Dom was all drunk and stuff, and he said he had made a comment probably about 4 or 5 months before that, and he goes, wow, dude, he said he was looking at his wall, and he had all these gold platinum albums and stuff, and he goes, man, I wish I had one of those. Well, he had threw something over in the garbage can, brother, and he told Lance to go over there, and he said, man, go get that, man. And he said when he went, there was a box in there and it had his name on it. And he said he opened it, dude, and there was a gold platinum reinventing the steel album.
Oh, hell yeah.
And I was like, dude, you still got that? And he's like, hell yeah. And I was just like, wow, man, this dude gave something he worked hard all his life for, to a friend because he wanted a gold record. He said, you got one now, brother, and he might not be yours, but you got one. So that's really cool, man.
They're always really friendly with all their fans. That's how we are. If you're a fan of ours and you come out and support us, you're part of the family now. Whether you want it or not, you just got to accept it.
That's right, brother.
You're right.
Yeah, man. So who else we got tonight?
Mr. Christopher Perez over here. He's a rhythm guitarist.
Okay. Bring him on, brother.
Hey, how's it going, brother?
What's up, man?
All right. Just kicking it out here in Katy, enjoying this humid air. Actually, I'm not, but it's pretty hot.
Yeah, I bet, man. Texas it gets really hot.
Yeah, it really does.
Well, you're a rhythm guitarist. What got you into guitar, man? I mean, I have to give you props because the band kicks ass, man. And if it wasn't for each individual in this band, y'all wouldn't have the sound that you do. So I want to give you props for that, man. What got you into music, man, and what got you into Aliah Listens?
Actually, music's kind of always been in the family, but it kind of took a stop with my grandfather. He was the last guitar player. I mean, we had uncles and stuff that also played too, but they didn't really take it too far. And, I was just a kid, like I would like to say 4 or 5, and he was ready, like he's going to be the guitar player. But believe it or not, I didn't start playing until I was like 11. But he always said it'd be me, and it turned out, it was me. And I'm 22 now, 11 years later, and I'm still playing. And, God rest my grandfather's soul. But he always knew, he always just felt it, and he always just told me, and it's crazy, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
And as far as finding out about Aliah Listens, I actually grew up, I was born and raised in Houston, Texas, and that's where I'm from, and I still stay there to this day. And, I found out through them through another band. I was actually playing the bass for another band with Matt, the drummer of this band. And we came to some practice over here at Aliah Listens studio, and turns out that, long story short, I ended up hooking up with Ralph to play bass, and then I ended up playing the rhythm, and we just took it from there.
Very cool, man.
Yes, sir.
Well, as far as the writing, I mean, I know you said everybody puts in, that's amazing, man. I mean, y'all got a few members in the band, so everybody's got to get along with everybody's idea, right?
Oh, yes, sir. And these guys are great. If it wasn't for these guys, I don't even know. To be honest, I wouldn't even be here. Really, if it wasn't for Ralph, I wouldn't even be here. I mean, Ralph looks out for me. He's a big brother to me, and we show each other love. And like you said, we have our ups and downs, but who doesn't?
That's right.
And I didn't even expect to play guitar for his band because I played guitar for another band called Aliah, Texas. And, of course, we're a Texas band, similar, going towards Pantera and things like that, just like the rest of us. And I joined this band, and everything's just been good. We have shows left and right, and the music's just, I love the music. And me, I grew up listening to a lot of metal, so I don't play a lot of alternative or nothing slower than that. But when I hooked up with Aliah, and, they opened my eyes with, look, these are the people that are buying albums, and they want to hear something more radio friendly. Not everybody wants to hear streaming the whole time. Maybe sometimes during the songs, but not the whole time. And my eyes on stuff.
Right, and that's another thing. Like last night, we had Tantric on, and that was one thing that I thought was really cool because nowadays bands, since we got computers and all the technology, instead of putting out albums, everybody's just making singles, and hey, you can go buy it for $1, or you can buy it for this or whatever, and not putting out whole albums. And one thing that I really appreciated about last night, they put out a whole album and made it affordable, $10. And I miss the days where you could go, to a record shop and buy it, man. I mean, nowadays, it's like a friend of mine said. He goes, man, I was gonna go buy, my family some Christmas, and I figured, I'd buy some music. And he goes, dude, there's not a record store in the mall. And I'm like, I was like, yeah, dude, they shut the shit down, man. And I was like, that's, it's really sad, far as the record sales. I mean, my thing is, if you're going to be a music fan and you're a fan of, a certain artist, man, go buy their stuff, man. I mean, that's showing them love and keeping them doing their job.
Yes, sir.
I mean, there's no better feeling than picking up that album and going through there and reading it. I just remember being a kid, that was the thing, man. I wanted to get that album and start reading, what they had to say, man. And just nowadays you don't get that. With you guys, I mean, you're not just putting out singles. I mean, you guys evidently have been putting out some songs.
Yes, sir.
And I really appreciate that, man. It's kind of like the old way of doing music.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We just like to bring it out and bring it to the people. We know the people are feeling what we're feeling, and hey, everything turns out great. We have shows, and people are glad to see us. And just like Ozzy Osbourne, we make it to, well, especially me, I make it to where I don't want people to feel like they're privileged to see us, but I want them to know that we're privileged to see them because they're the ones that are making it happen for us. You understand?
Right. Yes.
That makes everything better. And when I tell our fans that I have a certain love affair with them, as far as that goes, they're just like, man, that's so cool. I met so many bands, and this guy's a dick. And oops, can I say that?
Yeah, you can say anything you want, brother.
All right, cool. And all these other dudes, they tell me, and I'm just like, man, I met those guys too, and man, it's all good because it is what it is. And as far as it goes for us, we like to be cool, and like I said, we like our fans to know we have that genuine love affair with our fans.
Right. I like what you just said because I've ran across the guy that really meant a lot to me in my musical, upcoming, and met him and he was a dick. And I was like, what the hell, dude? I mean, I bought all your albums and you can't even say hey to me. I mean, I was sitting at a bar with the dude, man. And it was just like, and then I've met him 4 different times, and he was the same way each and every time. And the last time I was like, hell no, I know you didn't. And he finally come back, and he was like, dude, what's up, man? And, I was like, dude, just be cool, man. I mean, I understand you probably meet a million people every day, but, like, I'm not going to see you tomorrow. I'm getting adrenaline rush by meeting you, dude. You influenced me. And it sucks that you do this to me every time. But then I go and meet, like, Bret Michaels. The dude just is like, hey, you want to get on the bus and hang out, man? And I'm like, this dude's very humble, but this other dude over here that you're on tour with, he, God. You need to teach him how to treat people. But, yeah, people are different. I do understand, you get different things from fans, Fans can be obsessive if you're put in a spotlight sometimes.
Yes, sir, and like I totally agree with that. And it was crazy that I met a lot of bands, and doing what I've been doing for 11 years. I've been around, long enough, and I'm not gonna lie to you, the guys that I thought would be digs were the ones that are the most, they're really cool, and I respect that, and I didn't expect it of them, but they're really cool, and like I speak on behalf of when I met the guys from Hatebreed at the Verizon Wireless Theater down here in Houston. I met the guys from Typo Negative. Actually put me, I was actually on stage with those guys, and I like these, like the guys from the Destros, the guys from Behemoth, Cradle of Filth. I met a lot of metal bands, and I always thought they'd be the pricks, and I don't want nothing to do with you, but believe it or not, those are the guys that are just like you said, like, hey man, you want to come chill, or hey man, how you doing, man?
Right. They're glad to meet you.
I can put you on my contact list when I come to Houston, and I'll give you good deals, I'll give you free tickets, or whatever the situation might be. And it's like, wow, bro, we really, like, yeah, put me on that. And that's really cool.
Hey, that shit make you feel cool, don't it? I love that.
Cool, and I always said, man, look out for me. I mean, I may not be in the metal scene because I knew I was going towards trying to give the people what they want, and,
Well, I actually play a few bands out of Houston. Like, I don't know if you ever heard of Memory of a Melody. We play a lot of their stuff, man. They are a good band. and I've had them on, and it seems like everybody in Texas that I've interviewed, you guys are really the most humble people in music, man. But now, as far as like country music, y'all have your own. It's like you have your own country out there.
Yeah, it's like a Texas feel. It's like a Texas hardcore feel, and I think that's what Ralph was going for, and I honestly think he totally achieved at it, and that's the big dog, so like, that's what he was going for. Like I think in my perspective, in my point of view, and like he shot for it, and to me, when I first joined the band, I always felt like it had that Texas feel, and I fell in love with that right off the muscle.
Yeah, well, you know, it's like my brother did country radio for 25 years, and I was working with a country artist, and I called him for some suggestions and stuff, and the guy was wanting to go out to Texas and all this stuff, and Scotty's, you know, my brother was like, dude, he's like, you know, Pat Green. He said, I'm going to use him as, you know, for instance. He's like, everybody in Texas knows Pat Green. Everybody in Texas loves Pat Green. But now you go over to Seattle, Washington, don't nobody know Pat Green.
Oh, I know exactly.
You know what I'm saying? And he was like, they have their own music scene. He goes, you know, if you're going for Texas, you're going to be in Texas. As far as, you know, the country radio scene there. And I was like, dude, I learned something today. Like, you know, because I knew Pat Green, but you know what I'm saying. I didn't realize that you had a music scene like that. And then you got Austin. I mean, that they say that place is like way better than Nashville, and I'm like, God, I got to go there. You know, so I mean, you know, y'all really do bring a lot of great bands out of Texas, man, and I really appreciate the music, you know, because I get to play it, man. I'm over here headbanging to your stuff every night, dude.
Yes, sir. I ain't gonna lie to you, man. Like, I listen to our stuff a lot too, and thinking about, you know, I think about it as far as I've been with these guys already. I've been going a little over a year, and you know, it's been great. I don't know if they were even looking for a rhythm guitar player or not, but like, I'm thankful for being out here. I mean, like I said, I'm 22. I've been having a lot of bumpy roads along this way, but Ralph is sticking with me. The guys are sticking with me. They're holding the flag with me. So, you know, I just got to show the love and the appreciation back. I mean, I might not show it, but I mean, that's just the way it is, and they know it. You know what I mean? So.
Right. So you're the youngest of the bunch?
Yes, sir. I'm the baby.
Yeah, I was gonna say that, but I didn't know. You know, you'd be like, "What? He called me a baby?"
they thought I was older, but they could tell. You know what I mean? That I was younger.
Right.
Most of the guys, mostly a lot of people that I meet, they do think I'm older than what I am, and when I tell them, "Oh, I'm 22," they're like, "Holy shit!" Bro, like, it's the music scene is fun. The Texas music scene is badass out here. We're really bringing it hard this year. I don't think we're gonna stop. Nobody, you know, can stop us. I love all the bands I play with, like the bands we have on our shows. They're always good. I always talk to everybody. We always keep it cool. You know, we call it the Aliah style, and that's just the way it's gonna be.
Yeah, man.
And we like I said, we like to bring it to people, and we like to give people what they hear, but also still have the same feel. You know what I mean?
Well, let me ask you this before I let you go, brother. Do you you said y'all guys are going to be busy through the month of September and I guess October and all that. Can you tell some of these listeners where you guys are going to be playing at?
Yes, sir. I actually can. I know on September 1st, September, I believe the 4th, I believe we should be at a place called Acadia, if I'm not mistaken. If you just give me 1 second, I can pull it up really quick.
Okay, cool, man.
We're going to be playing we got a show at Acadia Bar and Grill on Wednesday, September 4th. We got another show on Friday, October 4th at Hot Stop. It's a cancer stock for, you know, it's going to be out here in Houston, Texas, too, down on Sheridan Road. And all the shows will be posted on our ReverbNation.com/Aliah Listens. Everybody can check it out there. And it has the dates, the times, who's going to be there, all that good stuff.
Hell yeah. Well, I want to say, man, you guys keep doing what you're doing, man, because, I mean, you really do got great music, and I'm going to keep jamming it, dude.
Yeah, I appreciate you, sir, very much.
Yeah, and I want to thank the whole band. You know, thank you guys for taking, you know, the time out of the night, you know, on a weeknight to do this interview, man.
Yes, sir. And I got a question for you. Were you gonna play any more songs of us tonight?
Yeah, I'm gonna play. I'm gonna play a few more. Right now, I think we're going to jump off into Silence the Sea.
Yeah, that's actually my favorite song, so, I'd appreciate that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, man, we're going to play, let's see here. Ooh-wee. Melting, well, no. God. Anyway, I'm going to play some more, dude. I'm having to pull up stuff, too, now.
Yes, sir, brother. And one more thing, if you don't mind, man, I would like to apologize while I might be talking fast, stuttering, but I'm a little nervous. I ain't going to lie to you.
Oh, man, hey, you got to start somewhere, and that's, it's nothing wrong with it, man. I'm stuttering tonight, too, man. It's all part of it, brother.
And I would actually like to make a shout-out, too, to Mr. Joe Spangler. He was the original singer and songwriter for Aliah Listens.
Well, hell yeah. Well, guys, it's been great having you on the show, and hey, anytime you want to be on, man, just holla at me, and we'll get you guys on, man.
Yes, sir, brother, and we all appreciate you on behalf of Aliah Listens and myself.
All right. Well, guys, hey, please, thank you for coming on, brother.
Hey, thank you for having us on.
Hell yeah. Well, guys, hey, please check out Aliah Listens, and hey, on Labor Day, we got Blame Shift. They're going to be on at 8:30 Central Time. And then on the 3rd, I got Blacklist Union, Mr. Tony West and his band. So, hey, just stay tuned. I got Smile Empty Soul going to be on. The dates, hey, I will let you know soon. So, hey, just keep it tuned right here. This is Aliah Listens. This is Silence the Sea. You can only find it right here on the David Ray Global Rock Show.
This is Hanji from Standing Penance, and you're listening to the David Ray Global Rock Show.